What's going on, guys? Let me show you this Domino. I love this. This is my favorite color combination I've done to date. I know you don't see yellow G done G10 done too often. G done. That's what it is. G done. No, G10. So here you go. I was trying to figure out an ano color that would work well with this yellow, but also would work well. Yep. Books are still closed. I have to say that before I show you all this. Just trying to wrap up a bunch of projects, but made a few extra scale options for this one. This is a lightning strike polish, bronze lightning strike, so that goes really well with the high voltage bronze. And then also did a royal blue that is like a CC that also has a blast on it. Anyways, we're going to put those on real quick, and I'll show you what they look like. I just wanted to show this off just to get the wow factor. This is my favorite. Right here, this yellow. And you don't see yellow done too often. It's not a very hard color to get, but you just don't see it done very often, I guess, because it looks kind of weird when it's up against just regular stonewash titanium or even just blasted. But I really think this high voltage bronze goes really well with it. Want to give this owner some options too, so I went with the matte finish. And being that it's high voltage, should have a little bit more wear resistance than a lower voltage bronze, because the way anodizing is done, it's actually a chemical reaction. It's like a oxidized layer, and that layer is thicker, and as that layer gets thicker and thicker and thicker is what the colors actually is. So your eye sees the thickest layer of the oxidized layer that's bonded on the titanium as green. So that's at 100 volts, right? So green is the most wear resistant color. But I don't know, I'd have to make a whole nother video on it. This will be very durable. The owner should not be worried at all about carrying this. Went flat too. I just think it looks a little more clean. It also gives you a little more contrast with the acid stonewash hardware and stuff like that. And he has a small Sebenza that is 100% nuked out. So I want to give him some variation there. Been trying to ship knives out, man. I've got a bunch of them shipping out almost weekly now, but I'm still just behind, and it's, you know, I wouldn't say overwhelming because I'm getting the stuff out, but books are still closed. You know what I mean? I have to get everything cleared out. And then I'm going to figure out a few other things. I don't want to say too much. I've already did that update. Get the grinder and the whole shop set up for making knives rather than working on knives and modifying knives. You know what I mean? And when that starts, I'll be full steam ahead. I don't know how much I'll be booking myself for work like this, but I certainly will still take on some nuke jobs and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and take that yellow off. We're going to put on this blue. I'm not going to spend too much time getting everything tweaked just right. I just want to show you guys what it looks like. So barely finger tight on that. If you guys are wondering, this is just a T9 for all of these screws. Kind of nice how Spyderco did that. It's almost like they knew nobody likes that Bill Cosby fake carbon fiber that they put on there. Sometimes because you can does not mean you should. I hope we never see that carbon fiber again. I don't know, maybe you like it. I absolutely despised it. I hated it. It just looked extremely ugly and like a Bill Cosby sweater is the best way to put it. Alright. So you can see that still fits on. Nice and centered. And I think the blue goes really well with this high voltage bronze as well. Of course it looks the same from the back, but when you flip it, there's a pop of color. Everything still works great. Oh yeah, did I mention that I also rounded off the lock release here. I don't know why Spyderco did that. They put jimping here on the lock release, and the way that this is recessed up a little bit, it really put a hot spot for me personally right there where your finger comes down on it, because it was one row of jimping right there. I don't know if they were thinking it's easier to unlock it, but when you're using it, you're mostly in this grip, at least I was with mine, and it was just constantly rubbing up against it. Not a huge deal, but enough to make you want to fix it if you can. So we did. Also rounded the spine, if you didn't notice. And then acid stone wash, blasted all the hardware, all that, of course. So let's show you the lightning strike scale. I think this is a really cool knife. Overall, all these options to play with it, I hope the owner's happy with it. It's kind of cool. You won't get bored of the same knife. You can carry it this way for a week. And then with 4 screws, I'm showing you how easy it is to change. You know, you have a completely different look. You can go wild and crazy with the yellow, a little bit more laid back with the blue, and then you could dress it up with this polished lightning strike scale here. I've heard there's a shortage on lightning strike right now. I don't know how true that is. I'm glad I still have a few sheets of it. But that's what I've heard. I've got the bronze and the silver. Book's still closed. Not selling my sheets of carbon fiber. But you know what I mean. I did not put the lanyard hole in this. I figured a dressy look like this probably would not have a lanyard on it. And I just wanted to really show off more of the lightning strike. You see how nice and thin I try to keep everything. Nice and contoured, fit, finish, plug and play. You don't have to, but it's always best to have the knife in hand when you're making custom scales. That way you can fit it exactly perfect for the knife. Kind of a smooth look, right, with no lanyard hole. I think it was the way to go. And then of course with these you could have fun, put a yellow lanyard or something on this scale, or blue, something like that. But I just figured this would be carried without. I really like these Dominos. My only cautionary thing about the Domino, just like any of Spyderco's flippers, is that it has that paper thin, almost tin foil like washer on it. Had a little bit of dust in the pivot there. A little speck on the outside there. So you just do not tighten up your pivot too tight. Just go a little bit, feel your side to side, feel your up and down. Go a little bit more. Once you over tighten it, you will bend up that washer. I've already done a video on it. I don't know if Spyderco will send those parts out to you. Maybe they will. But it's very easy to bend up those washers, and then you will muck your action up. It'll still flip, but you'll be able to tell that your washers are dented in and collapsing around your bearing, your enclosed bearing in there. So I think that high voltage bronze works really well with the bronze lightning strike as well. Takes a beautiful, beautiful polish. Looks like I gotta pull a loose wire out there. That happens with lightning strike. Sometimes as you carry lightning strike, a wire will like break and pop out. If that happens, you could just take a tweezer and pull it out. I wouldn't suggest like taking another knife blade or a razor blade and cutting it, because you will gouge into the lightning strike. Nice. What a cool package. I'm a little bit jealous. A little bit jealous, not gonna lie. Of course, a free-handed edge put back on that CTS XHP blade. Ground really thin too behind the edge. These are incredible slicers. I really like that choil in there. Your choke way up on this. Rounded spine. It just makes all the sense in the world, in my opinion, on these guys. Feel really good in all grips. Really, really addictive flipping action. You can flick them as well. Just the hole feels like it's down a lot more than a standard knife, a standard Spyderco. Let's see what I have in my pocket. You guys are going to be a little bit shocked. What? Yeah, carrying the military today. See how a normal hole is like kind of... Yeah, I guess it's about the same spacing if you line the pivots up. Maybe it just feels weird because the way this is not matched with the hole. But it still works. You still really easy open this up by thumb. You flick it underneath too. A lot of opening options on this. Look at that high voltage bronze. That is the color it is. You know what I mean? I'm touching it. It's not changing purple. It's not going different colors. You can see all my anno work here. Nothing magical. You just got to aim for a different color in the anno tank than you do. It's hard to explain. It's a different color. If I was to take Windex and wipe this off, it'd be a different color than this. And I would prefer it to be this color, so you have to make it a different color in the tank. And sometimes it's crazy. With like blues, it almost has to go purple. And then that way, when you get your fingerprints on it, it goes back blue, if that makes sense. Certain colors, greens, not as tricky. I mean, it's tricky to get the green, but once it's green, usually when you handle it, it stays green. But it gets real funny. Around 16 volts, bronze can flip to purple, can go back. Of course, that's electric anno, heat flamed anno. Strider does it beautifully where you touch it and it looks like a piece of art. As your fingers touch it, it like turns purple, and as you clean it, it goes back blue. But anyways, that's flame anno. I really dig this matte high voltage up against all of these scales. I mean, even the blue works really well in my opinion. And again, my favorite, yellow. Cool. All right, well, I appreciate you hanging out for 13 minutes, checking this Domino out. Kind of old news now, the Domino, but it's still a great option. I would highly recommend a Domino. If you like the way it looks and you like the option to get the anodizing done. Now, of course, you can go on eBay and get different titanium low-ride clips and everything for these. There's a bunch of things you can do, especially when you get scale options, right? You have a lot of fun with them. All right, guys. Have a great day. Catch you on the next one.